Wow, here we are again, finally, another karting video, except this time I actually know exactly what I'm doing. Without further ado, here it is. Short intro today because I wanted to talk about how cool this race was. There was two races today, and well, one race went well, the other race kind of backfired on me. This one also had a few moments in it that backfired on me, but huge thanks to my buddy Travis coming out with me. It was Thursday race night where we would only have to pay half price for a race here. Right off the bat, we already know our carts aren't ready for the race because they haven't been used yet all day. So we're slipping and sliding, trying to catch each other up. That's actually my buddy Travis ahead of me right there that we are fighting for a good minute now up until the starting finish line comes up here. But that's when I find out that the track is also kind of still soaked from the rain this morning because it was not that great of a day to be racing. It had just rained right before we got to the track, so we weren't expecting it to be too dry, but right in these little side patches, it's a little wet. I lose a little bit of traction due to the wetness on the tires, but I still keep it next to him. And as you're going to see here coming up into the double hairpin, he's going to go a little bit too hard on the turn, and I'm gonna get it perfectly just to catch up, but this back marker is just gonna get in the way, slowing me down too much to actually catch up on his bumper. Now I want you to remember that person with the red shirt because they come up later and it's gonna be a very bad situation in that point. Now while me and him are duking it out, I just want to give a big shout out to Dubby, our sponsor on today's video, of course. Link in the description for my code. If you use my code GatorBoyBon in the shop, you will get a discount for your next drink. Definitely go check them out. They're a pretty good energy drink company. The taste is perfect. Right now I have the green apple flavor. Skipping a little bit ahead here, this is the part where it starts to get a little interesting going into that double hairpin. Now like I said, the track was still a little wet even though it was mostly dry for the most part, but he's going to take this turn a little too hard and spin a little bit, catching up on his bumper. But of course it's a little congested, so I got bumped in the back by somebody I couldn't even see, pushing us into the final straight before the finish line. We still got a few more laps to go here, and I still haven't been able to pass him on any of these turns. Coming up, you're going to see he's taking the turns a little too wide, letting me get a little bit closer every inch. But this is going to be the part where he takes it too far in, which I can turn the double very easily, passing him. I give him a little thumbs up because he didn't just dive bomb me there. But he does give me a nice little bump draft. You can't really see him, but he's bump drafting me to push me a little further faster. Now, coming out of the straight, he is going to take my inside, cutting me off a little bit, which is an amazing move by him, but he tries to go too far wide, which actually kind of helps him because he stays on the inside. This entire race, our carts were quite even on speed, so it was mostly due to the abilities of us turning and doing all that good stuff. But I do have him on this double hairpin. He still has the inside, but I finally get him on the inside for the final turn, pushing me back in front of him. Now there is a third person coming up on us, but he starts blocking them and bump drafting me again. I'm gonna end up holding this lead for a good minute in front of him. Now we're in the same lap. We're still all ahead of everyone. We're gonna be coming up on some back markers here in a second that we're gonna have to fight around. You see him creeping up there, but he's not full gassing it, so me and him got to find a way. He goes too wide on that turn, so I hit the inside, but my buddy is already on my left, so he's probably going to end up taking that inside, but he kind of backed down on it, letting me pass out before throwing me in the grass. I do a little bunny hop to help go faster, and here as we're coming up on the straight, I put my head down, and this is when it all goes crashing down. Our first crash of the day. Of course, I hit the brake a little too hard trying to get around a back marker who was going only like 5 miles per hour, and I go straight into the biggest puddle on the track. Now, the stewards are going to be coming to help me, but that's when I realize I'm pretty sure I can just gas it out of the thing because it's got a tiny bit of traction on it. Now, this is going to prove to be really hard and annoying for me with the water splashing up on the tires because now I have almost no grip virtually at all, which I'm going to find out a little too late because I spin out right here due to the zero traction. I'm going to try and get back around and everything before they start coming around the track again. Going a little bit in the grass, catching some grass, losing more traction, unfortunately. Now, thankfully, we're coming up on the hairpins and stuff, which kind of slide around a little bit, but it is kind of drying the tires up for me, thankfully. But then we're also going to be coming up on the straight, which should also dry the tires up way more than I need them to. Skipping a little more ahead here, here's the red shirt lady again, the one that actually is the reason I spun out. I give her a little gas tap symbol to tell her that she needs to kind of go a little faster just to help us out a little more. But hey, I'm not a bad sport. I was a little bit ticked off over the fact that my shoes, socks, and pants were all soaked, but it wasn't her fault entirely because I was the one that braked a little bit too hard on that one. Skipping a tiny bit more ahead of here, this part I do lose my grip hitting this bump a little too hard on the side. There goes my buddy Travis driving off. We're actually on the same lap. I didn't know this at the time, but he had crashed after I crashed in the water, and we were still kind of neck and neck on the lap. So now I'm behind him, and he has to fight me again once more to, you know, take position. Skipping a little bit more ahead, this is finally the part where me and him start our little battle out for first, even though we don't even know what position we're in at this point in time. But me and him definitely have lapped everybody by this point. Now, we are hitting every single turn at the same pace at the perfect angles together, which just keeps us at the same gap from each other, which I don't mind. I still gotta fight him here every once in a while, but there is gonna be a part here where I start to lean in on him because he takes the turn a little too wide, and the back marker kind of blocks him there. It's the red shirt lady once more, but she's actually sticking to the outside, thankfully, which lets me actually catch up on him here, you know, bumper and bumper almost. He's actually going to take this turn a little too wide, and this back marker is going to get right in front of him, letting me have it, but I was nice enough to let him in between us, and the dude that was the back marker also let us through because he knew we were neck and neck. Now, at this point, he kind of lets me get in because I'm on his inside, and I go a little too wide on that, thinking he's going to pass me up, but he actually couldn't find it because he went wide with me. I didn't know that at the time. I thought he was still on me, but he's kind of a little bit bump drafting me. This kid goes a little too far on the inside, kind of blocking us a little bit. He's holding that line, but I get around him on the outside here. He slows down. Me and him are getting bump drafted again. Now, as we're coming out onto the final lap here, the checkered flag is out. I have technically taken the first place win for passing up Travis, but this is going to be our little victory lap here. I'm going to keep holding him behind me. I didn't want him to pass me towards the end, even though it was already over. Now, coming into the pit lane, I'm going to show you the times. I actually won by my surprise. I should have walked in with the camera on my head still, but I always turn it off at the end of the race, either before I even walk out. But everybody was a good sport on this race. Everybody was quick, but me and Travis kind of held it first and second. Going into our second race, the sun has gone almost completely down, and I have a daytime visor, which is completely shaded, making it a little harder for me to see rather than everybody else. Coming out here, it's already congested with the slow drivers, so I try to slither on past. Now, we are in faster karts this race. I don't know where my buddy Travis was. I'm pretty sure he's behind me, but this dude in front of me and him are fighting for first. He is actually holding his line quite well, probably better than I am. Now, our karts are about the same speed here. My leg started cramping up on me here, so I tried to lift my leg. Now, at this point in the race, I've already raced once, and I'm a little fatigued, but I'm still able to hit these turns a little better than him. He goes a little too wide, which lets me catch up, but he actually hits this turn perfectly better than me. I accidentally braked a little bit. He's going to gain a little bit more of a gap on me on this turn, but I'm going to fold it instantly and hit this curb a tiny bit. Skipping a tiny bit ahead, we're going to come into this turn, but I hit it a little too hard and slide out with almost no traction. Now, at this point, I see somebody coming up on my left. I'm pretty sure it was Travis. And as lo and behold, it really is him because he starts bump drafting me a little bit. Now, I start to notice that the cart is slowing down on me because I lose it in that turn. And right here, he starts to pull off on me, even though I'm full speeding it as fast as I can. But hey, I think nothing of it and keep trying to race. I think I just didn't turn those corners that well. So we're pulled off in the straight here, going into the turn 1, where I accidentally take it too wide once more, where I start to feel like I am not able to hit these turns as good as I was in the first race. Now you're gonna see me coming into the double hairpin and realizing something. I'm gonna hit this curb a little too harder than I thought I would. I look back because I thought I saw something in the corner of my eye, and it feels like I am losing power because they are taking off on me in the straights now. Skipping a turn or two ahead, I start to see other carts passing me that I was passing earlier with zero issue. I hit the curb once more, and that's when I see a spark fly from the back of my cart. Seeing that guy spin out, I try to go a little faster. Now I'm coming up on the straight where I do realize that I am losing power, and lo and behold, there it is, a black flag for me. Now coming into the pits, I thought one of two things: either I'm in trouble or they're getting me a new cart because they saw I was losing power, and for the love of the karting gods, they gave me a brand new cart to run out on the track. Now, unfortunately, with even a new cart, I am still almost half a race down from everybody else. I'm pretty sure we only had like 3 or 4 more laps to go. And I wanted to try and get a good speed off of this cart, but I'm pretty sure this was one of the slower carts compared to the new fast carts that everybody was already in. So I try to pass the slow back markers that are just sitting there half throttled, and I'm full throttling it right now. Little did I know that this guy in front of me was going to hold the perfect line to block me from actually getting around him. I'm doing everything in my power to be faster than him, but his cart's slightly faster than mine, and he starts going all out in front of me. Now I'm trying to cut corners and I'm bumping into him, pushing me back, and at this point in the race, I am tired. I am ready to go and pit, so I might as well just slow a little bit more down. He spins out, giving me an opportunity to go even faster. But at this point, I've already put it in my mind that I'm gonna just take it easy and not go all out for the rest of this race. Skipping ahead here to the final part of the final lap, I had just completely given up. Everybody was passing me. My cart was just not fast enough to keep up with the front 3. My buddy Travis and them was holding their lines and whatnot, but this was the part where I just had to come into the pits because the checkered flag had already been waved and I had already given up. Here are the times for this race. Now, I did horribly in this new cart because I couldn't see and I was tired and I was just ready to go. There's my buddy Travis in front of me. Yeah, so that was the first race night we've had. And it was crazy. I told you the cart broke down and whatnot. I was a few races down, but thanks to the amazing staff over at Nolas Motor Speedway, they gave me one free race because they saw my cart broke down. And I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Travis for us going out there and whatnot. He had a pretty good race with me. He took that last race, thankfully. I didn't go without having at least something to brag about. But hey, without further ado, you guys go enjoy some racing, and I'll see you on the track.